on intra-African trade and continental economic integration, the African Continental Free Trade Area will contribute to greater self-reliance and the sustainability of our economic development endeavors. The extraction of raw materials for export from our continent without beneficiation has had a detrimental effect on the development of our people. The practice of extracting and mining our ore and exporting rocks, stone, and sand to other destinations, and thereafter importing finished products that are made elsewhere based on the raw materials that are an endowment to the people of Africa, is something that must stop. We must begin to extract our own materials, beneficiate them, perfect them to usable products, and export them. That way, the people of our continent will be able to extract the value that belongs to them and that they deserve. The ownership of those materials, those minerals rather, is often recorded as assets by other countries other than by our own African countries. It is therefore important that we must treat these minerals as an endowment from Providence that should benefit our people to maximum effect. We need to step up efforts to build manufacturing capacity and beneficial regional and continental value chains.
So guys, welcome to the channel where a united Africa is an undisputed Africa. So anyway, let's get into this. Here you see in this speech that President Ramaphosa, President of South Africa, is giving. It's a good speech, but are they actually practicing what they're preaching about? Stop selling, get in control of the resources and stop outsourcing it. Like for instance, you have countries come, all countries, this is global, they come to Africa, they buy the ores. They take it back to their country, refine it, make, for instance, the ore steel, the steel, and then Africa have to turn around and buy back said steel from these countries at a higher price, put in strain on the economy and make it more expensive to build a home for the citizens. But if those same steel that they're buying from Americans or the Europeans, if they keep their ore in Africa, build a manufacturing plant, refine it, make all the necessary products from it, and then it benefits the country economically, and also it benefits citizens economically as well. Helps the economy to grow, and it helps citizens to have to buy steel at a cheaper price because it's made in the country. But what I get to realize, ever since President Ibrahim of Burkina Faso, and let's say all the coup countries that just had coups, specifically Niger, Burkina Faso, and Chad, Guinea, and Mali, they are the ones who actually make this a reality, if we come to think about it. Because Burkina Faso, they stop all export of every single resources they have, from the gold to the uranium, the bauxite from that they used to make aluminum, the iron ore, steel ore, all this is banned, and they raise the price for exporters for them to pay for said resources. Niger did the same thing, but when you see countries like Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, even though, to be fair, Ghana had banned certain export of certain raw materials, like the ore for aluminum, the ore for steel and so on, but even though they ban the export, they still have contracts that they cannot void because the country gonna suffer economically heavily for breach of contract. So what I get to understand that what these companies are doing, they will go to Africa, and if you have two suppliers, let's say you have two suppliers and then they only have one because they stop the contract from certain them and they can't stop all. So what they will do now, they will go through this one supplier, through the backdoor deal, pay him to buy the same material and then sell it back to them, give it to them, and then he make a profit, the country still suffers and everybody wins except Africa. But with the cool countries like Burkina Faso that literally cut every single resources export. And what they said is if you want to mine our uranium or if you want to mine our iron ore or our bauxite to make aluminum, you have to build a factory in the country. You have to hire majority of the citizens and majority of the workers have to be from the said country, and you can have to bring in some of your own. But you can just put our citizens in working position. They have to be also in managerial position as well. So I'm telling you, if it wasn't for Burkina Faso and Niger, we want to manufacture our own products, this wouldn't come to fruition because it's been said for years on top of years by different Pan-Africanists, and it's never come to fruition until these younger generation of rulers is actually jumpstart Kickstarter, because the older ones, they're done old and seasoned, they won't change. They are, majority of them, criminals. They're greedy, so they sell out the country just to get rich, and then the citizens suffer, the country suffer, and then everyone else profit from the country. So this is one of the reasons why we have to make sure we protect the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim, because without him, a lot of the major changes we are seeing in Africa right now would not happen with our resources. And now we see President Ramaphosa is talking about what Burkina Faso and Nigeria is already doing. So, are they actually taking heed, or is it because of the pressure from the younger generation? Because the African continent is the youngest generation, the youngest generation. So what if I'm coming to the conclusion that the younger generation is not timid. They're not like the older generation who stay quiet and only protest. No, we can protest, but we're gonna make major changes, both physically in coups and technologically, and also networking, as in like what we're doing now with the YouTube videos, exposing certain things that's happening on the continent and shining more light. Gonna shine on the continent, not these BBCs and the CNN that does actually put in. They have the narrative that they try to paint Africa as poor, disease-ridden, and they only beg and they only need charity. No, Africa is a very, very highly developed continent. A lot of countries have major cities that just like any other country, but they only choose to highlight the small pockets of poor people, like in way like, and they're not even poor because some of these villagers, they say some of these tribes, they choose to stay away from modern things and stick to their old ways. So it's still a narrative they're still trying to paint on Africa for the year, but now with more cameras shining the light on the continent, there is less disinformation that can be spread, and there's less the BBC and the CNN can manipulate the narrative and paint a picture as how they want. No, they can't do that because they have so much people now shining a light on the continent. That's why that's the use of channels, and that dedicate a channel to Africa, like mine and others, many others. So anyway, thanks for watching. Let me tell a friend, like, comments, share. And let me know what you think about this in the comment section. If you think that is the change that's going on in the continent, is it because of the coups that change, our revolution is arising, and we have more Pan-Africanists is now speaking up, and they're actually now being more heard. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Don't know, as always, thanks for watching this WSSM podcast. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Boom.